Okay, I think we've got enough people on the webinar. We've still got a few more coming along, but yes, just to introduce myself. My name's Graham McRae. I'm the product marketing manager for the Integrum platform. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today for the update on version 9.18. Got a interesting, fabulous agenda for you. But first of all, what I'll do in a moment, I'll hand over to Stefan Sliesko, who's the product director for the GRC business, and he'll then introduce Nikhil Kulkarni, who's the product manager for Integrum. So we've got a very interesting session arranged for you today. What we want to do is take you through some of the new capabilities and enhanced capabilities within Integrum, particularly around the engagement opportunities with your peers and with Mitratech. We'll also give you an update on what's happening in the template for 9.18. Nikhil will take you through a demo of the changes, and we'll also give you an insight into the roadmap as well. Now, there is a Q&A opportunity at the end. We're going to ask you to post questions in the chat box that you have, and we'd only ask that if you can keep it to topics around the roadmap and general topics. If only specific technical issues, we'd ask you to raise them with your normal support network. But with that, I'll thank you, and I'll hand over to Stefan.
Yes, thank you, Graham. As Graham already mentioned, my name is Stefan Sliesko. I'm the director of GRC product management within Mitratech, and responsible for our entire line of GRC products. I wanted to give you a bit of focus on how Integrum fits into the wider Mitratech world. GRC is one of the business units in Mitratech besides the legal space and the HR space, and one of the growth areas identified for overall company strategy. And in GRC specifically, our strategic goal is to really cover the entire breadth of the enterprise governance, risk, compliance use cases. So really from any types of, let's say, engagements in this area that typically the first, second, and third line of defense are engaging in. And as part of this, the use cases around environmental health and safety are one of the focus topics, as we continue to see significant demand in the market for this topic, which was one of the reasons which led to the acquisition of Integrum back in 2021. Since then, last year was especially focused on integrating the Integrum product and team and organizational structures into the Mitratech process in the organization, so that we are enabled to really bring the full scale and resources of our entire organization to bear for Integrum customers. And hopefully you've seen already some effect over the last year and some impact for your own personal operations. Today we want to show you the exciting new features in the last release, and I will hand over to Nikhil in 1 second. But one thing that I'm also personally very excited about is that we want to give you also a bit of an insight into what we have planned for this year's roadmap. There are some strategic topics such as UI, UX improvements on GDPR topics, but also a increased focus on the mobile platforms, and we ask you all specific also for input in that. And with that, I'd like to hand over to my colleague Nikhil to talk you through the details of this.
Yeah. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Graham. Welcome, team. Welcome on the official webinar for template 9.18. For a couple of minutes, I'll be covering the engagement opportunities that all of our customers have with Mitratech. So I want to touch on those couple of points. So first one is the client working group. Typically, client working group consists of 3 processes. One is discovery, next is the development validation, and the third one is the adoption. Discovery phase, nothing but where we define the scope of the project. Actually, we define like what we need to build, how we need to build, whether there are any other approaches. We will be doing the impact analysis in the discovery phase, and then we will be coming up with the mock-ups and a best approach to get that work done. The next phase is the development and the user validation. In this phase, we typically, or our engineering team, work on building those product, building those project features, then test those project features, then validate the solutioning. And then iterated, because we are working in agile way, agile world. So we are reiterating those things based on the feedback we get from the customer. And we are not stopping here. We are not just developing and like delivering. We are actually validating the adoption of that particular project or particular solution. To give you an example, assume that uh, our customer, they ask us for a feature to say reset password on a platform, and we have delivered that things, but we want to understand whether that feature is getting adopted by our end customer. Are they facing challenges with that feature? Are they still looking for other thing than this feature? So we also take care of the adoption piece of the work, and we get the feedback, we understand the result, and then we reiterate the thing. Typically discovery phase is limited to the 3 months, a quarter of year. If it is a small enhancement or small project, it won't take much time. But for larger project, it is around 3 months. For development, again, it depends on the type of nature of the project, the criticality of the project. Typically, it takes around 6 to 12 months to build a project. And the adoption, it is again totally based on project need or the project scope. So that's how the client working group work here in Mitratech in GRC business unit. uh, how client can actually participate in this meeting. So first one, it is totally for our customer to drive this client working group. They should be coming in client working group. They should be defining, oh, this is what we ask for, but we want to understand how you are going to build. Client should be able to give us like a feedback, oh, don't do in this way, you can consider this way, or there is a workaround, you can think of that line, or this is the market trend, please consider that to implement this feature. So a client can do their homework, they come up with their feedback, they come up with their approach. And then once that is done, once we demonstrate the mockup and once we finalize the approach, they can just stamp it like, okay, oh yes, exactly, bingo, we want this thing, we want this project or this feature to be built in this way perfectly, we are happy with the UI and UX, and then you can start the work. So here we are actually minimizing the risk of, oh, a client, our customer doesn't want that, or they ask for this, but you are delivering this thing. So to minimize that gap, to minimize all those risks, we are coming with this approach. As of now, in Integrum, we are doing a client working group specific to the customer, like one-on-one with the customer. But the plan is in future, like when we are officially into H2, we are about to host a client working group all together. So we will be inviting all of our customer on in a single meeting where they can participate. What will be the benefit of like having all the customer together? So if assume that a customer or a user has provided some project or feature to be considered, the other user can think of, oh, this is certainly something that can benefit us. We never consider this thing, but thank you for bringing this point on this meeting. So they will be able to understand the ideas from the other user, other customer, which can definitely benefit to you. So that's how the client working group work. And we will be happy to host you in next month, and you will be seeing meeting invites from me from Professional Services for the client working group. Coming to the next point is the client idea portal. I just want to let you guys know that idea portal is the first and foremost source that we are going to use henceforth for registering the ideas for our roadmap planning. So how does idea portal work? Typically, all of the customer who are registered for this idea portal, they are going to post their ideas on this idea portal. Assume that there are client A, B, C, D. They have various ideas. They can just log into the portal and they can post their ideas. The other customer actually can view those ideas. Okay, these are the ideas that is posted for the customer, and we think that, okay, these are the good ideas. So they can actually send a vote for that idea. A vote is like formally you can call it as a oh, other customer also want this idea, or did they really like this idea. So based on the voting, we consider those ideas into a roadmap planning session, that okay, these ideas are like highest voted ideas, so we are considering it in a roadmap planning meeting. And once we define this roadmap, we validate this roadmap with the professional services, because they are indirectly touch with you guys, so they understand, okay, this is something client really want, so let us prioritize that. So they help us to prioritize, rank those ideas, and then we plan it for our roadmap. So as of now, the customer who are registered for the idea portal, they can log the ideas. the customers who have, or the users who have not registered for this idea portal, they can send their mail ID and a request to our professional services team to get registered for this idea portal. We will whitelist your company domain, and then you guys will be able to post your ideas in the idea portal. On the idea portal, you will be able to see the status of the idea also, like whether it is under consideration, whether it is under development, whether it is delivered, whether it is ready for delivery, and again the version of the delivery in which that feature is going to be delivered to the customer. So all those things you can find into idea portal. We started this practice from this year. This will definitely going to evolve in future. Typically in Mitratech, in GRC business unit, we start roadmap planning meeting from the month of September. So it will be good if all the ideas are posted before September and voted, and people have voted for those ideas, because that will be easy for us to consider those ideas, take a export from those ideas and consider it for the next year roadmap. Mitratech financial year runs from the month of February to January. We call it as a fiscal year. So now we are into fiscal year 24, which will run from February 2023 to January 2024. Okay, so this is all about the engagement opportunities. We really want you to participate, to collaborate with us. You will be able to collaborate with product stakeholders. You will be collaborate with even engineering stakeholders, because they can also see these ideas and they can also send a response if needed. You will be able to collaborate with professional services. You will be able to collaborate with your account manager. So that will definitely help you. Yes, these slides will be available to all of you once we are done with this webinar. Our marketing team will send the recording and the presentation to you for your reference. Yeah. Okay. Now the main topic of the webinar, what is there in this webinar? I will be just giving you a summary of the features before I jump to the actual demonstration. So this release include an exciting ability to our support, to our admin, to update document reviewer. And this is something like you can actually update document reviewer as a mass assignment. So you don't need to rely on an individual update. You can actually do a mass assignment with this feature. Then along with that, there are a couple of workflow improvement that are lined up. The dual MR, the manager review workflow. This is something you can call it as a USP of this release. And again, reallocating the rejected smart forms to a new user. This is again something that most of our customer requested for, demanded for. So you guys will be able to get this thing with this 9.18. There are a few smart form improvements we have made. Now you can actually enable, disable parent information from the sub forms. That is something, an exciting feature. Now we have an enhancement for confidential forms, whether it can be raised by limited to the private group, or whether it is we can have it to the public. And we have some additional feature like a title as a system field for better tracking. We have a mandatory comments, especially for form approval or form rejection. So I will be giving a demo on few of these things. Once we are done with these things, if you guys have any questions, please let us know. Or we can, if you guys have any technical questions, please reach out to your account manager or our professional services team. They will be happy to help you. Please note, this release already been updated on our Client Success Center page. So if you want to take an export of the release notes or a user guide, you can just access our Client Success Center and you can actually get that details. If you guys need to update on 9.18, you can reach out to the professional services team. They will help you to update on 9.18. It has already been there for you. Okay, so first feature I'm going to demonstrate is the document reviewer control. This is, as I mentioned, you can do actually a mass reassignment, and that will literally save a lot of time of your admin, of a support team. So that is something value we are giving to our end customer. I'll be using the regression environment to demonstrate this feature. The regression environment doesn't have any of the client-specific data. It is totally a QA data. So I'm just jumping to our regression environment. Graham, Stephen, please confirm whether you guys are able to see my regression window.
Yes, we see it.
Yeah. So how you are going to do a mass reassignment? You can just go into operation. And then once you are into operation control, all the documents which are under review, you can actually do a mass reassignment from here. So as of now, I am not going to touch on the mass reassignment. I will just show you how individual mass reassignment work. So I assume that this document is under testing. And if I go to the mass reassignment, we have introduced an option where you can actually update the reviewer. With this update reviewers, you will be getting 4 new options where you can actually remove the reviewers, and you can append the reviewers to the existing list of reviewer. You can replace a reviewer with another reviewer, or you can replace all the reviewers with the new set of reviewer. So what I can do, I can just append the reviewer, and here you have to select the dummy name to the username. So I will just
Nikhil, it might be that this screen share is frozen. I'm not sure. I'm not seeing an update.
you guys aren't be able to see the pop-up that is coming.
No.
Oh, sorry. Let me share my entire screen. Are the pop-ups
Yes, now
visible?
Yeah, now it works. Yes. Perfect.
I will demo you again. So if you go to the operational control, and as I mentioned, you can do a mass reassignment. As of now, I'm just doing an individual update. So I'm selecting this document. I'm going into mass reassignment. And here you will find the option to update reviewers. And if you click on the update reviewer, there will be a 4 new set of operation that you can do. You can either remove reviewer, you can append a reviewer to the existing reviewer, you can update the existing reviewer with new one, or you can replace all the reviewer with the new set of reviewer. So I'm just doing a append reviewer just to demonstrate to you. So here I can select. So that person will be notified that your reviewer has been updated. And if you go to this document view, you will be able to see that, yeah, the reviewer has been updated. So that's how this works. The key USP of this feature is mass assignment. I'm not going to touch on this, but you can use this for a mass reassignment. So this is all about the updating document reviewer. The next feature or the next improvement that we have considered, as I mentioned, the USP of this entire release is the dual manager review workflow, MR workflow, and reallocating the rejected smart forms to a new user. So typically, when we reopen any form, it goes to the first MR when you reopen the plan. This is what the current default structure is all about. But our customer, they really want that. Oh, we reopen this thing, but we don't want it to be reviewed by MR1. They have completed that review correctly, but we want a MR2 to do a review more precisely. So we want it to give it to the next MR. So that's why we implemented this dual MR workflow. How it is being handled, I will just show you on our regression environment. So I will just go to the smartphone builder. So this is the template I already created for this demo. This is the form that is I open here. So I will just edit it. Yeah, send for initiate a review. And now I'm just selecting my name for review. Okay, now I'm just opening this form. As you can see, the reviewer, second reviewer has been updated. I will just select this form. I assume you guys are going to view my incognito mode window because that is something that I'm logging with the other user.
Yes, we see it.
Yeah. Yeah, meanwhile it loads. Yeah. So if I just if I approve it, approved for dual MR. Yeah. So as the form is already updated, I can just reopen it. Reopen for dual MR. So it will be sent to me again for reviewing this form. So that's how this feature works. How you are going to set the dual workflow? You can just go to the form template. You can edit it. Then go to the workflow wizard. Yeah. Here, like when you enable the review workflow, when you select the smart form reopen status, the default is nothing but the as is existing setting that is available to our customer 9.17 and before. In review is something that we introduce now, where in review we'll send this to the next level MR for review process. So that's how we implemented this feature, and you guys can use actually this feature. Now I will just show you how the rejected one, we can reassign the rejected one. So I will just go to one of the form that has been completed. Oh no, I can just. Let me open the another form. So you guys can actually reopen, reassign the rejected forms that is to a new user. So the complaint from our most of customer was like, oh, the form has been rejected, but we want to reassign this form to other user, and as of now we don't have that ability. So you guys can just click on the. Let me first reject it, and then I can show you. Yeah. Now as this form is rejected, if I go to the edit, I will get an option to reallocate this form to the different user. So I can just reallocate it, and I can select a different user. Reallocating to different user. So now you can actually see that the form has been assigned to the different user. So this is something that most of our users, they asked, demanded for this feature, and now it is available in 9.18. So these are the key USP of 9.18. The other things I'm going to touch is some smart form improvements. So first improvement is now you can see a parent information in your subform. This is again totally an configurable thing. You can configure this thing into the form template. So you can just go to the form template. When you go to the parent form setting, and if you edit, sorry. You have to go to the workflow wizard. Yeah, here you can enable the parent info section on all subforms. Please note this feature is available for, you can limit it to only all subforms or none of the subforms. There is no ability that you can enable it for a single subform and disable it for other subform. So from here, you can enable it and disable it. So if you go to the view library, and if I raise any subform, okay, I can do it from here. Sorry. Yeah, I will go to the parent form and I will try to raise a subform. So this is the parent form I have already created. And now I'm just raising a new subform. You can see the information here. And I'm raising a new subform here. And if I give a name it as a test or a demo subform and submit it. And if you go to that subform list, you guys will be able to see the details of the parent form because we have enabled that setting. So yeah, here you can see that parent document information is visible on the subforms. Please note this is configurable. You can enable or disable this thing from the parent form configuration. So this is something our customer also interested in this feature. So we come up with this feature. Yeah. Now the next improvement is the form confidentiality. I guess I can showcase you on that. So it is nothing but that as of now we have limited it to the public or to the private group, but now we have a different configuration available for a confidentiality of form. So you can just and if you can just edit one confidential. So if we select the yes, then now you have another setting. You call it as a, what is the default setting? Private or public. Public means anyone can raise it the confidential form, but private is then only it is limited to the groups that is available to the customer. If we select the yes, then they can select the group here. If we select the no need to select the group. So that is something that is available to our end customer in the 9.18. Okay. Now few of the enhancement that I already shown you, the title as a system field, as I show you in the smart form, in the child form, you can view the new system field as a, sorry. If you go to the view library, and if you see the any of the child form that I recently raised for you. Yeah. So we introduce this new title field. So that will be available for the customer, and this title will be available on the parent form where they can actually track the all other subform which is linked with that parent form with this title. This is something our end customer want, and you can also enable disable it from the form configuration setting. So that's how this title field works. And the mandatory comments improvement that I can show you. So we have introduced like you can actually select whether comment field should be mandatory or non-mandatory or optional for the user. So you can just go to the field library, and if you configured any new field, I'm just giving it like test field TFLD. If I select as a multiple selection, or I will just select it as a list. Yeah, I can select a multiple list, and here I can value like option 1, option 2, option 3, and here you can actually enable subfield logic. You can actually write the logic to make it mandatory or non-mandatory. How to write it? It is available in the release notes. The syntax is available. You guys can use that syntax to make it mandatory or non-mandatory. So this will help you, especially help you when you are rejecting or when you are approving in any of the form. You can use this setting to make a comment mandatory for a user. So this is all about few of the features that we developed or we are releasing with 9.18. There are few enhancements, there are few bug fixed in this release. You guys can get that list downloaded from the Client Success Center. That will make sure that our build is much stable as compared to the older version. Okay, I will take some pause here. If you guys have any question, I see a question that is posted here. How it is reallocated button different from the current reassign button? So I believe currently reassigning it is for in review, but reallocate is something that is for rejected one. So that will help you to reallocate the rejected form, and that is again to the different user, not to the same user in the workflow. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can still post it here, or you can post it to your account manager professional services. We will be happy to help you on that. Now,
just to reiterate also, your Mitratech contact people, account management, professional services are there to also do more in-depth briefing in your particular environment. That's something that you're interested in, so feel free to reach out there.
Yes. Okay, now I will touch on our this year's roadmap. What is there on our roadmap? We tagged it as a 2023 roadmap. As I mentioned, we started this year from February 2023, and it will be getting closed by January 2024. So we for this year we finalized 2 themes. As Stephen already mentioned that we have taken one of the strategic project called as Mitratech Common Branding and Modern UI UX. As a part of that strategic project, we have come up with the theme called Modern UI UX, where you guys can now get a customized view of like your registered view, a customized view of your form template, and a notification. This is something you can actually configure as per your branding, as per your brand norms, and it is totally, not totally, but it is few like a configurable setting. You can use that to configure your registered views, form template, and notification. Typically, as of now, it is little bit hard coded, little bit Mitratech branding oriented form and structure, but now you can actually get those things configured as per your brand experience. A good thing is both of the projects are under development, and soon it will be available in 9.19 release. And coming to another theme, we have come up with a user-friendly Integrum operations. As a part of this, we have auto creation of smart forms from the predefined CSV. That is something you can upload a CSV from front end and get an auto form smart form created. Now you can auto manage your org structure, historical records from front end. I know as of now we have a dependency on CSV users and admin, but now you can actually get those things done from the front end. Another big strategic project that we are coming with is the provisional of general data protection regulation for our customer. As we know that there are geographically specific GDPR policies that we have to follow in day-to-day operation. So now we are coming with the configurable GDPR structure for our users, where they can actually define that policy according to the geography. And last key thing that I want to emphasize on is the Domino 12 upgrade. So you guys must be knowing that soon Lotus Note or the IBM, they are going to stop support on Domino 11 and prior version of Domino. So we are coming with the Domino 12 upgrade project. Just the good news, we have tested Domino 12 upgrade. There is no major observation. It is absolutely working well with the existing Integrum system. And plus, it is giving you more features like backup restore functionality. It is giving you the two-factor authentication. I know most of our customers, they want to implement two-factor authentication on their system due to various cybersecurity laws or due to various security concerns. Now Domino 12 offers you that thing. Another good thing, we have done a pilot project upgrading one of our customer test site to Domino 12, and it is working pretty well for them. So if you guys need that Domino 12 upgrade, please reach out to the services team. They will help you to upgrade it. Or soon we will be sending a notification to our customer with the plan how we are going to upgrade Domino 12 step by step to our hosted and on-premise customer. So that is something, a cool feature that is coming into Integrum. And I'm sure that will definitely give a lot of benefit in terms of security and managing your user base on Domino system. So the timeline for 9.19 is January 2024, but we will try to divide it based on our customer input, whether to deliver it in H2. But as of now, the timeline is January 2024. So please be there. Along with this thing, please note this is not the hard-coded roadmap. If you guys having any small enhancement that you want, it is not there on roadmap, but can you consider those things? Please put it in idea portal. Please put it or highlight it to your account manager. If those are small and easily implemented, we will consider those immediately and we will get those things done for you. So it is not like we have to stick with these delivery items. If small things which won't take more than a week, we can deliver it for you. So that's all about the roadmap for this year. If you guys have any questions on the roadmap, feel free to drop in a question and answer section. Else, I will hand it over to Graham for interact.
Yeah, let me just add one point here. Thanks, Nikhil.
Yeah.
I do want to highlight especially the UI UX topic, because this is a great example of how we can leverage the wider Mitratech resources for Integrum product and for US customers, because Mitratech brings here a dedicated UI UX specialist team of very experienced resources that are helping out specifically on this project for designs and the improvements basically before those are then technically implemented by the engineering team. So yeah, this is an example that we're trying to roll out also for many other topics that we're showing here. So yeah, as Nikhil mentioned, please feel free to add any further questions. Here, we would like to focus questions on the upcoming roadmap in case you do have questions. So also for the presented 9.18 release, feel free to drop as well. As mentioned, your direct contact people in professional service and account management also there to help you to do any deep dives you need for those kind of topics.
Yeah, before I hand it over to Graham, I just want to add a few more points I forgot to add. We are again coming with a dynamic workflow and digital signing of the document. That is something we already developed, we already tested. It is under regression, but you guys can see it in our next release also. That is something not listed on the roadmap slide, but that is there in coming release. Plus, we are working on stabilizing our Integrum Live application, mobile application. We have built a good capacity for the mobile application, and soon you will find a stabilized version of Integrum Live, and you will be happy to use that. You will find some UI UX improvement on that application also to match a Mitratech common branding. So you will have again a vast experience, new experience on your handheld device when you start using the Integrum Live app. Thank you. Yes, Graham.
Nikhil, thank you so much for your comprehensive overview of 9.18. It's wonderful. So really to conclude, I hope you've all found that useful. If you want to know more, we do obviously have our major customer event in October, in early October in New Orleans. Amazing city. I've been there several times. Thoroughly recommend it. So if you want to come along to interact, later this year. Obviously, learn more about the Integrum platform, but also some of the other Mitratech solutions as well. But it's also a great opportunity to meet more people in the company, but also meet up with your peers and understand the problems that they're trying to solve as well. So do that on the website, and see it on various emails as well. Moving on to the final slide, so if you have more questions, as Nikhil said, speak to your support contact, speak to your account manager, but we have some more contacts here as well for you on screen now. So with that, I'll say thank you both Nikhil and Stefan. I hope you all found it useful, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you very much. We'll sign off there.